Greetings and welcome to Smartwatch Ticks. Woo! It's an exciting day today. Oh, we're on the web at smartwatchticks.com, a channel dedicated to smartwatches, and we've got a box. Yes, we do. This is the original shipping box of a prototype manufacturer delivered from ZEBLAZE. Oh, I'm so excited, I'm cutting through the plastic. Here we go, the official Thor 5. Oh yes. All right, let's rip into this so we can dissect it a little bit more. Now, I've got two things to show you before we open the box. First of all, this comes to us directly from ZEBLAZE. My high-tech pieces of paper here. The AliExpress official ZEBLAZE store has this in stock right now. And it's a bit pricey, folks. We're looking in the neighborhood of actually like a Galaxy Watch Active or a Galaxy Gear S3 are selling around $200. I'm hoping we're going to have a coupon discount for you. Check back in the show notes and hopefully we can drop that price down and you can pick this thing up. It is available, it is shipping, and what we've got, as you saw, was a fully packaged production unit as a prototype that they're sending out for early review. By early, I mean it's also available from Banggood on pre-order at a bit more attractive price. Now, it's going to go up and up and up in price. I'm not sure that I can beat that one with a coupon. They will probably tell me it's at its lowest price pre-sale right now. Nonetheless, $140 for everything you see in this watch is going to be quite the bargain. Yeah, it's the ZEBLAZE THOR 5. It's got that fancy dual chipset technology in it. Here's the whole spec page. 2 gigabytes of RAM, 16 gigabytes of storage. That's kind of the sweet spot these days. An 800W front-facing camera. That means it's a 8 megapixel. So you're going to have good, sharp pictures, and it's front-facing for doing video conferencing, chatting, live Facebook streaming, as well as taking selfies. 4G LTE connectivity when you put a SIM card in it that's compatible, and sorry about the small print, trying to cram it all on one page because you guys want me to conserve paper. Here you go. There's all of the goodies that are in it, and a little bit more from the spec sheets. All this stuff you can find when you just click on over on the link to the supporting pages. So I don't want to belabor it here in the video because what you won't see there are my little hands getting into the box and showing you what we've got. Nice packaging. Look at this. It's got kind of a raised embossed emblem of the watch on here. It's got information on the back. Probably my IMEI number, right? Thor 5. Everything you need to know, QR code. Let's get in here. We take the outer sleeve off. We open the box. Yeah, you ready for this? It's going to be one of those Avenger watches. It's a big sucker. It's cool. This thing is, well, it's got a fun little... You ever have those worry stones? I bet your grandpa does. You know, he'd carry in his hand and just rub on them. Well, it's got a worry knob or something on the side. It's pretty cool. And that's where the camera sits. We've got a TPU band. Oh, yeah. And lots of holes that run from beginning to end. So it should fit all kinds of arms, even really small ones, because it comes all the way up to here. So you literally can wrap that thing about as tight as you can get it. Charging port, charging pins here. We'll see how it charges. A screw-covered nano SIM, and your heart rate diode stuff here. In terms of buttons, there's 2 of them on the side. One says power, one says back. On this side, it says camera and call. Those are the 2 words, but no buttons. There's a little hole for microphone, the protruding camera. What have we got here? A speaker on the front. That's good. That'll be nice and easy to hear. We've got a little cover that they've put on here, not just a plastic clear one that a lot of people forget to take off and wonder why it gets all scratchy and blurry. Well, this is just an opaque one that we can take off. And then there's the overall screen, which we will look at when we turn it on. The bands are non-removable. It definitely is fixed with antennas in the bands. Inside the box, there's a plastic cover that hides two boxes, or little hiding spots. Inside one of them is the charging unit. It's not a dock on this watch now. It's going to be a dongle thing on the end of a wire, and it's rectangular. It's not curved, it's straight, and of course, I always get it wrong, it's going to come off right under the camera. So that'll be easy to remember. Just lay it down on top with the camera where the wire comes out, and you'll be all set. Okay, so it's got the charger. What else has it got? Oh, okay, when we shake it loose, we've got a screwdriver with a couple of extra screws to hold the back on where the SIM card goes in case you lose them or strip them or do something if you change that often. I don't recommend taking that off any more than necessary, just for water integrity and whatnot with the watch. And then the manual down at the bottom, the Thor 5. And again, this is a fancy dual processor technology that's going to give it some features we haven't seen on earlier Android watches before. And we're going to walk ourselves through that, see what it'll do. Here's the meaty stuff in the manual, which basically just gets you started. We've got another page over here, all about SIM card. Watch faces, how you get into those. Of course, you can indeed install custom watch faces, a variety of ways to do that. We've covered a lot of them here on this channel. And that's it. And it's only an English manual, so this particular one shipping, there's no Chinese version with it. So there you go. All right, let's clear this all out and take a look at the new Thor 5. With easily marked buttons, press and hold the power button, and we get the boot up icon. It's the company logo on this one, says ZEBLAZE. In terms of bezel, it's non-rotating. It's tapered. You see it kind of tapering on the inside there. It's got some markings. There's a little mark above and below, and just a few little marks at odd places. It's like, I guess, the 5 and 7 and 11 and 1. It's taking a long time to boot the first time. That's typical with these new watches. It just vibrated. After it boots the first time, settles down, then reboots are going to be a little bit faster. Preparing, and it's brand new. We're just turning it on. So we'll take a look at the languages that are supported. You see all those? Are they in focus for you? Pretty much. Portuguese. Wow, okay. You know, someday I should actually learn at least what these languages of squiggles are. I think these are Chinese down toward the bottom, some Japanese perhaps, Thai, I really don't know. But it's got quite a few. English is pre-selected, so I'm going to confirm that. As most Android 7.1.1 watches go, it's going to ask you to fill in your basic information for fitness, and then to scan the QR code. It's going to talk about Bluetooth tethering, and it's going to wait for the confirmation. I'm walking all through that because we're not covering tethering in this one. We're covering features of the watch. Since it uses Android 7.1.1, it's going to do like all the other ones have done when it comes to tethering. But let's dive into this. Whoa, look at that. It's dimming down, and it went off. Okay, so it's completely black. Does it have ambient mode capability or not? We'll discover that. Let's turn the power on, slide down. Here's our typical screens. The first one tells you, and look at that, fully charged. I just opened the box, gang. I couldn't wait, so I didn't even have to charge it. Little bit different layout. Look at that. We've got airplane mode right on the front, Bluetooth and SIM card. So they've added a new icon. You can go in and out of Bluetooth. The date's nice and large. The time is great. And the blue circle represents your power level. And that's everything this direction. Come over here. We got the standard characteristics that we see, but they've been moved around a bit here too. That's your twist your wrist to see the time. That's your sound mode, whether you have quiet mode on or off. That's Wi-Fi. Well, of course, turn that on and have to get on Wi-Fi. Cellular connectivity in the middle, and Bluetooth on the right. So they put all your communications on one level. Here's your overall brightness. Oh my gosh, that's full bright. That's totally washed out on the camera. Wow, I got to put sunglasses on. There, whoa, there's your lowest dim. And it only has 3, like they all do. There's the middle. Looks like we can shoot in the middle, so we'll leave it there. And then that's location services. So a little bit different layout showing up here. So they've been messing around with the user interface a bit. Here's your general clean thing that cleans up any background operations. The music player with up to like 15, I think, on the volume. Yep. That plays music from inside the watch. And this is your weather. When you're on Wi-Fi and connected up or cellular, you can link into the source and it'll bring in your weather screen. We just unboxed it, so we don't see that. It's timing out really quickly. We've got to change that like right away. Okay, going off to the right, you'll get your notifications over here, and that's all. Going off to the left, you'll get into all of the apps. And like I said, I'm going to go jumping into settings, jumping into display. Whoa! And there it is, always time. Yay! We're going to show you that in just a second after I change my sleep time to like 30 minutes, so it's not going to be turning on. Both always time and notification bright screen, new options are in here. We've seen back and forth on a couple of these other watches that's been, it's just been a challenge to get this always time thing working. Now, on all the other Android 5.1 watches, you have seen this feature. When the screen goes off, it shows you a black and white analog display, right? You ready? Turn the power off. Wait for it. I think it's there. Okay, we're back with a black and white analog display. Wow, it got bright and then it went dim. Okay, there you go. Wow, it brightens quickly. What happens if I touch it? Brings us right back to here. Okay, so it's going into a very, very dim analog black and white display. I don't think we're using the dual processor on that one. What do you guys think? It looks like it's the same operation as the standard Android 7.1.1 watches. But it is there. So when you're wearing the watch and you have that ambient time mode on, when you twist it, it'll lighten up if you have that feature. And when it goes off, it'll go into this dim ambient black and white screen. All right, that's that part, and we covered that quickly while we're just setting the settings. We went over here. If we go again, we get into fitness, and we've seen this in a lot of the different watches. All the fitness stuff is over here, and it looks like exactly the same. And the one thing we always check is whether or not the fitness ties into GPS. So we pick something that would use GPS, like an outdoor run. We hit go. If it starts up right away, and the little blue icon is solid, it means it's getting your distance calculations just from your step count while you're walking or running. It's not using the GPS module for that activity. There's my pace and my heart rate from my finger covering it, I guess. That seems way too high. But we're getting some data here. Press and hold to finish. Delete that. We'll check this again when we look at it in the overall apps, just to verify it's not using GPS. That's sad to see. Well, we have the ambient display. Here's contacts, phone, and messaging, which ties to your SIM card. Is there Bluetooth calling in this? No, pretty much can tell you that because all Android 7.1 watches do not support Bluetooth calling. It's only on Android 5.1 and a few Android 6. Here's your other stock apps. We'll come back to the camera. Gallery, music, sound recorder, your file manager, the overall heart rate monitor, and here's fitness again. Now it's showing you the fancy color pictures, whereas on the side they were just the icons. Let's go for a, not an indoor one, bike ride. Or bike ride, if it's going to do it properly using GPS should invoke GPS at this point. And it's not. It would throw up a message saying either trying to get GPS or turn location services on in order to get GPS. And the fact that this is just going like this, I don't think so. Just to verify, since I've got you guys here, watch what I do, because these are good things to know. We're going to go back to our main screen. We're going to come down here. We're going to go over and we're going to make sure we turn GPS on. That's location services, okay? Now we're going to come back. We're going to go over, going to go back into fitness, pick that outdoor run. Check these things because you can set target duration in minutes, target distance in kilometers. No, it can't be changed to English. And or calories. So those are the 3 categories. When you hit go, no, even though we have location services on, there's no change here. So unfortunately, the Thor 5 does not integrate fitness with the GPS technology in the watch. That's some do, some don't. It's I'm used to pressing and holding the button because on some of them you have to wait for it to release, but this one you just press it and that gets you into here. Okay, so those are all the different categories with color pictures, but it's exactly the same functionality that you have when you were scrolling over this way. All of these are identical too. Beyond fitness, we got the weather. You can set up a voice search to Google Play Store and Google Maps. Assistant now is where you connect it to your phone using the QR code for tethering. It's not the Google Assistant that you're used to. Sports Target is something new. Haven't seen that before. Looks like you can set different calories for your built-in daily pedometer readings, and it will let you know how you're doing on that. Interesting. Okay. And then there's long standby, which is the big feature of having the dual processors in this watch. And the App Store is a basic store that you can download your typical things like Facebook and Twitter and YouTube and whatnot. You ready for the long standby? Press it, get in here, and look at this. It tells you that you're going to enter this mode, and you can exit out of it, or you can hit a check mark. And you see that little gear up at the top? That's something new we haven't seen before. So first, let's go into the mode. I press it and wait for a few moments, and now it's literally switching processors. It's getting off of the processor for the smartwatch mode and moving into the bracelet mode. Now you see it kind of flipping in and out. It looks like it's set up to only light up when you twist your wrist. It's got the time in 24-hour mode, by the way, it's showing. It's not sensitive to anything. It should only work when you have the buttons that you push. If I push the power button, I can light it up. Push the power button again, and I get my calories burned, distance traveled, and step count. Press it again, and I go into an automatic bracelet mode heart rate. Continuous. Now, this is kind of fun. This is where it's going to always be lit up. This screen does not go out. Day, night, as long as you have it in this page, it'll be there. And if you have it on and it's touching your body, when it acquires, it's going to give you your pulse or your heart rate. And it's got some last measurements on here. It looks like when they were testing samples of it. There you go. I'm getting 80, 79, 78. That's fairly reasonable because I'm a little hyped, as you can tell, doing this review. So that's pretty good. Press it again and I'm back to time. Press the back button and I go backward. Press the forward button and I go forward. You have those 3 screens and that's all. And this will stay on. This will stay on no matter what. So if you're monitoring your step count while you're working out, you've got that, but you don't have heart rate on this screen. This screen, however, looks like it will turn off after a few seconds. There you go. And then it bounces back on again because I'm holding it upright to show you. There. Okay, that's the way they've decided so far to implement the bracelet mode. You have a twist your wrist to see the screen. There is nothing to turn that on and off that we can see so far. Remember, there was a gear we're going to check out. But that's it. And the only way you can get out of this is to press and hold, supposedly, the power button. But I'm going to press and hold the back button just so we see what happens. And it should be nothing, because that's just going to be a toggle to toggle the pages. But if we press and hold the power button for 3 seconds, it basically shuts the watch down and causes it to reboot back up again. And again, you've got to wait through the whole cycle for it to boot up. So if you wanted to just check the weather, for example, and you have it in bracelet mode, it's not going to be an easy process. You literally have to get out of the bracelet mode, back into the smartwatch mode, which requires a complete reboot. All right, I'm going to just skip ahead so we're not sitting here waiting. We're back now, and I did want to show you when we go into it's all the way at the bottom, long standby mode, aka bracelet mode, what happens when we touch the gear. Look, always time, it appears here too. Now, this is always time in bracelet. I'm going to turn it on, come out of here, and now I have the check mark. And let's see what it does with that turned on. What do you think? I do too. All 3 screens will stay permanently on. That's my guess. I haven't tried it yet. I just took it out of the box. None of us know. But it's not going off, is it? There's your other page, and there's your heart rate page, and there's your time page, and it is staying on. So they've made the best of both worlds for those who want to actually have the time page always on, and those who prefer for it to only go on when they twist the wrist. Cool! All right, but nonetheless, either way, the only way to get out of it is to press and hold the power and reboot, which we will do one more time. We're back, and honestly, it does take quite a while to reboot. It's not a fast reboot like it is when you go into the bracelet mode, but that's where we're at. Okay, we've got a few more things to cover, right? We went through pretty much all the stock apps with the exception of settings. When you get in here, you got your standard sound stuff. Nothing new there. The display is where we showed you the always time in smartwatch mode, which is when the watch goes dark. You get the black and white analog always time. We've got app list styles so that you can see them all linearly like that or in a round circle. So showed you that in a lot of different apps. Here's your connections where you tie in with your Bluetooth, Wi-Fi. You can do a Wi-Fi hotspot. If you have a SIM card in, USB or cellular networks will light up. And USB, when you have the charging wire plugged into your computer, is where you'll be able to access files, and you can transfer files directly over the wire to the watch. You can also put in some software and do it over Bluetooth if you want to. Here's your gestures. The screen on raising is here. It does not have turning on and off pedometer services, so they're always going to be on. Oh, by the way, I never did show you scrolling up. We've got to cover that too. Power savings, language and input. You can add different keyboards and stuff if you want to and have your OK trigger word for Google activated. You got date and time that you can set to your zone, reset everything, uninstall applications, more we'll get into, and about watch. So those of you who are tracking all of this stuff, you really want to make sure you monitor what the build number is on the firmware, because it's been a changing target. This is the Thor 5, that's the model number, Android 711. And when you get down here, look at that build number, Thor 5 2018 0510, May 10th, okay? That's just a few days ago. This thing is fresh off the oven. And it could continue to change as they refine this. You'll want to be on Wi-Fi and click wireless update for you to check if there's an over-the-air update, an OTA. And if there is, they'll push it to you. And things may continue to change, especially with that ambient mode stuff going on. In the more, this is where you can set up your account, Google Play services, third-party apps, all of that, including data servers, saver that goes along with your battery saving. Yeah, all kinds of good stuff there. And that's what you have in your settings. Okay. Now, browser, all that we went through already, and we wanted to take a look at, oh, is my hair combed? I've got a front-facing camera. Hey, at least this time I can stick my thumb in front of you. Da-da-da-da-da. All right. Hello. Hello. There I am. Yeah. And look at the square. It's following my face. It knows I'm here. I am going to take a little bit of video and a couple of pictures, and then we're going to test them. I think I pushed that. I guess not. There, you hear the little beep? It's now recording video. By the way, you see the little flashing light there? That's my autofocus on the LG G3 camera. I still use that little sucker for filming all these things because it does a great job of maintaining focus no matter where my stuff is. I recorded that with voice. We're going to play that back in just a moment after I give you a cheese. Oh, that may be blurry. Cheese! There's my picture. Details will tell you a little bit about it. That's the size, 2448 by 3264. When you multiply all that out, you should get 8 megapixels. It's most likely 5 megapixels up interpolated to 8, but all that stuff aside, it's pretty clear. When you double tap it, you can get closer. Double tap again, and you can see my teeth are nice and straight. Double tap again, and thank goodness it goes back to normal. Pinch and zoom, will it work? Yes, it does on this one, which means we can monitor, what do you want, my eye, the pupil of my eye, the pixels in the pupil of my eye. You can get really close when you have a watch that can do pinch and zoom. Yeah. That does it nicely. Okay, that's really good to know. We also want to get out of here and back to the movie. There, you hear the little beep? It's now recording video. By the way, you see the little flashing light there? That's my autofocus on the LG G3 camera. I still use that little sucker for filming all these things because it does a great job. Okay, I'm double tapping as it's talking to see if we can zoom in through double tapping. It doesn't look like it because it has pause on the screen. Focus no matter where my stuff is. We don't have pinch and zoom either. On video, you're limited then. You only get the original size. You don't have a way to make it bigger that I can tell. You see the little flashing light there? No. That's my auto. But the volume is nice and loud. So you have pinch and zoom for pictures. You don't have it for video. It's a front-facing 8 megapixel camera, and it puts you at a good size. It's a good distance, the focal length and all that business. So nice the way they've implemented the camera on here. Of course, you can throw things away just by hitting the trash can. Yeah, bye. And get back to an empty gallery, which is where I like to be. It's a nice bright image. It looks like it's boosting the brightness. You can't even see it because it's all washed out on the screen, but I'm seeing it really great here. Can I get that to... No, I can't. Anyway, just trust me on that. It like brings the illumination to full, so you're going to be able to see pretty good under sunlight conditions outside as well. Okay, back button takes us here. Gallery covers all of that. We've gone through everything then. That's all of the stuff there. Then if we swipe up, this is where you get your daily fitness information. And I showed you that one thing where you could set alarms or goals for all 3 categories. Here's your weekly bar chart status. The setting button will let you, well, I guess this goes back and lets you look at the data in a chart as opposed to a graph. And there's only 2 buttons. You have that one and you have that one, which is going to show you the circles going around how you're meeting your goals based on the goals that you set in that other app that we saw, which is brand new. So look at that. You've got the new, somewhat shifted implementation of Android 7.1.1. That's the power drain, the real power drain, folks, because I really haven't done anything but used it. Yeah, so we've dropped 20% in whatever time we've been on here. You guys can calculate that out. And we went into bracelet mode briefly, but we have been primarily in watch mode without turning on cellular or Wi-Fi or Bluetooth. So I don't know how long it's going to last battery-wise. That's a little scary. It's almost 1/4 gone, and I'm not even really complete with the review. But that's something worth checking eventually. And if you guys get one of these and test the battery on it, please report in, because I just don't have the time to, with so many watches, to go through testing battery on each of these, other than what you're seeing right here. Okay. Ta-da! Non-removable bands, but it will stand up so that I can bring the chart over again and show you that you can pick it up directly from the ZEBLAZE store right now at AliExpress. This is the prototype directly from them. A production unit from Banggood is on its way in too, in case there's any changes that we need to be aware of. But it looks like they're sending out the same product they're sending to all the retailers. Price is a little high right here, right now, but we may have a coupon discount for you. So check the show notes on your choice of buying through ZEBLAZE on AliExpress or buying through Banggood. I'm getting tired. With a really good introductory pre-order price. So you could get that, get it on or a pre-order right away. And we really do appreciate when you use the links we provide for you, because that gives us credit back to making sure we get more of these watches for review. There you go. The brand new Thor 5. And you know what they did with the Thor 4 with pros and duals and all sorts of things. Who knows where they'll go with the Thor 5, but this is the foundation of a whole new watch line for ZEBLAZE. You've been watching Smartwatch Ticks. Appreciate your subscription and your thumbs up on these videos, and we'll see you again soon. Thanks for watching. Well, if you still have popcorn in your bag, I still have things to show you. See who runs out first, your popcorn or my finger? Watch faces! Of course I'll show you the stock watch face. It boots up in that one. And then you've got this kind of analog, digital, hybrid, edge to edge. Didn't mention that though, but look at that screen, guys. Edge to edge, literally. I mean, it tucks right under. Very nice. Here's your sports kind of thing with circles and whatnot. It's got January 10th. Thursday. Of course, I haven't set the date or time on this one yet. And here's a nice big yellow one. That shows off really good. It's almost over bright for me right here, and that's in the middle brightness. Here's another digital one. Yeah. This is a sweet watch overall. That front-facing camera can come in really, really handy for the folks that want to use that. There's another interesting one. Anything else you want to look at? Here we go. That's kind of different, huh? The colors aren't rendering exactly right because I am a little saturated. This is kind of more of a yellow. That's more of a orange-red right there in reality. It's showing the temperature in centigrade. I don't believe we can change that to Fahrenheit. And that's it with the one that you always can put in where you can make your own using one of your pictures. And then when you're on the internet, you can hit the plus sign and download a bunch of watch faces from their server that are the same for all Android watches. So that's the face parade. Now we're out of here.